Now that you've set everything up in Company Options in DocSafe, we're in a position where we can create our first client. Most of what you're going to be doing in DocSafe is going to be conducted within the client section anyway. But we're going to be creating a client, and that takes place within the client button. So let's click that. You'll notice some I've created earlier, but like all things in DocSafe, look to the top right hand corner when you want to create anything. Look for the plus in the top right hand corner. There are 3 ingredients in creating a client in DocSafe. You'll need to create a client account, and that's what you see here. These are lists of client accounts. Every client will have their own account. The second thing is that you'll need to create folders within that account. And lastly, you'll need to create users. Users are your clients who will be logging in through your website to that particular client account. So there are 3 things you need for every client account. So here goes. Top right hand corner, press plus. We are going to be creating a new client account. You can name this client account. Now the purposes of naming it is so that you can retrieve it later on. So the client accounts will be listed alphanumerically, but you can always use the search function in the top right hand corner to search for clients if you have lots of them. So put a client name in here. If you're not using business units, you can ignore that, but if you are, click the client to the relevant business units that you need. The folders that you created in the folder template section are now available here for you to choose from. So simply choose one of the predetermined folder templates for this type of client. I recommend you leave all the rest of it as default because you will not need to change any of the other permissions. Once you press Save Changes, that client account will now be created. Having created the account, it'll take you into it, and you'll notice all of the folders that have been created automatically from the folder template structure that you set up initially. You can at this stage and at any time in the future, if you choose to, hit the plus in the top right hand corner in folders and modify or create new folders. It could be these folders are merely a starting point, but most people will use these groups of folders as a prerequisite for this type of client. So now you have 2 out of the 3 ingredients. You have your client account created, which is this one up here, Vancouver, and you have all the folders created ready for you. The last thing you need to do, and the singly most important thing, is to go to assigned users. Now assigned users are very, very important. These are your clients who will be logging in to this specific account. Now let's get a few ground rules to start with. Users can only be created once and they are unique. You can have single users or multiple users logging in to the same single account. Each user will be listed here. They will have an email address and a name. You can also give them a default contact. This is the contact to which they will be connected whenever they do uploads. If you leave the default contact open, they will be able to choose from any member of staff listed on the system to communicate with when putting up an upload. They can only be connected to one specific member of staff at a time. The last box on the right, do you want them to be able to sign documents within DocSafe? If so, tick the Approver box. Okay, let's go and create one. Again, look for a plus in the top right hand corner and you'll see the ability to assign a user to a client, or create a user in other words. All of this is fairly self-explanatory. You'll need an email address, you'll need a username, the name of this person, and a password. Always remember the first password you give a client, user, is one-time use only. So I recommend you use a default password for everyone to start with. You can pick a default contact again at this stage if you choose. And again, you have the option of ticking whether you want them to approve documents on the system or not. And finally, do you want them to be told by DocSafe that they have been created on the system? This is ticked by default, but if you don't, simply untick it and they will not receive an email confirming themselves having been set up. Simply click Assign User, and that user will now be created, and this person will be told they are on DocSafe, and from that moment on, they'll be able to log in and access whatever is in Vancouver's account. Thank you.